Yeah. Yeah. What's up, David? We good? I need. We just have you back to them.
Sit there with him. David, welcome.
Welcome.
Nice picture.
Oh my God.
My friend who had a question if you were cold. Who asked me if David was cold?
You can always tell how many tattoos I have.
How many? Nah, from one side?
No, I ain't got that much. I can tell from my back, my arms too. I got shit all over the place, so I can always tell. It had to be like, oh my God.
And the 1000 mixer, yeah? The old mixer, the Pioneer one. You were not using actually this one. You're playing with a Rain.
The Rain. The
Underneath.
The Rain.
Which club is that? Do you remember?
Right. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So
I got Alzheimer's. I don't fucking know shit.
So David, this is everybody that's been attending our school this year. It's a lot of people this year. It's DJs and it's also producers. And there are also kids that do both of them. And this year we actually had a very big, let's say, raise in female students. So we had, I think, 25 or 20 or 30 girls this year that want to learn how to DJ or produce music, towards 5 or 6 last year.
You're ready? No. What was that? Okay, yeah.
So we would like to start by asking you some questions. Greg, you could ask yours.
We're not gonna go the typical way, like what's your background and stuff like this, because we've mentioned this stuff a lot of times before, and some of the people that used to be with us last year, they know what you're doing in your life and what your DJ life is.
They follow.
My question is, about a month ago, I saw a video of you on Facebook. You were in your studio, and you were talking with a singer, and you almost cried with a new song you probably right now. The question is, of course, after all these years, is it like that possible that you feel all these emotions so alive that make you cry?
I have a passion for music, number one. Real good songs have a message. For me, when I'm working with incredible singers that sound like angels, it's like, for me, what gets me excited, and it's the pleasure of working with such amazing singers. And I mean, just how they hit the notes and the melodies, and the melodies. And yes, it's sometimes I DJ, and when I'm playing somewhere that people like the music, and when I play certain songs, and it's the journey of the songs that I'm playing that make me feel emotion. I cry like a girl. Nobody, well, listen. It's like sometimes the energy gets so intense, like it's a little loud. The energy is so intense that sometimes I have to step back and breathe because the energy with the people is so intense. I'm DJing about 45 years. And the bottom line is, I love it. It's my life, period. I'm a bedroom DJ for life. I don't know if you understand what I mean by bedroom DJ for life. I started DJing is not because I wanted to be famous or nothing, because I come from the beginning of time. You know what I mean? Beginning of time. And it was always just about the music. Music was always my escape. Music is still my escape. I'm in the studio every single day. As a matter of fact, before I came here today, I was working on something, on an idea. So it's really, when I say it's my life, it really is my life. You know what I mean? I don't know anything else. And I am grateful that I'm able to make a living on something that I love. And I can drink on the job.
No, you don't drink.
I can drink on the job.
A little bit.
You know what I mean? So what I mean by bedroom DJ is like nobody can take that away from me. I love music. So even if I didn't make it, I would still be on my decks. Let's say if I had a regular job. So after the job, you go home and you know what? Have a glass of wine, have a shot of tequila, which I would have. And, you know, it's like play music because that's how you decompress and that's how you escape from everything else. So no matter how old I get, at the end of the day, nobody can take that away from me. No one, because I love music, period. So always remember, all I wanted to ever do was play music. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't care if somebody's house, I didn't have turntables. I'll go to somebody's house. They weren't DJs. They just had, you know, a house system. They were all play music. Yes. I couldn't wait. I'm just like that. I want to play. I would play in the club, no money, no people. I didn't care. I just wanted to play. That's the passion. I still enjoy it as much now. If I have to tell you the truth, I appreciate it more now because now I understand the meaning of what it is to play music for people and the joy that you bring to people, the emotions that you control with your music to the people.
Amazing. Great. That's amazing.
I think that's more than an answer. Like, I ask a simple thing, but you explain to everybody what means the real love of music.
So,
For so many years.
So, David, what about you started playing for no money? Of course. When was that moment where it started to turn, and how long did it take for you to start living or at least making some money from this passion of yours?
I probably have to say DJing, probably mid-90s, because even in the early 90s, they weren't paying the crazy money that they're doing today. But I was making a lot of money remixing. And doing the remixing is what got me to play around the world. I mean, so at some point, as like mid-90s, then, so here came the money. Yeah, so here came the money.
But you were playing from
my first trip, 1988, I went to Japan. And then I probably was at 1989 was the first time that I played in London. Okay. But it wasn't money then. It wasn't money really. It was just a, and just really as the years went on, as the culture got bigger, then the money.
So what were you doing until then?
I was remixing records.
So you were making money from remixes?
Oh, I was, yeah, for sure. It's like that alone, I was fine. But I was playing, but we're talking about, so when I was playing in New York, I was at Red Zone from 89 to 92. I was getting paid $400 a night.
Back then?
$400.
Back then?
Back then. $400. You know what I mean?
So until 89 though, like when you decided I want to start playing music at the houses, at your friends' houses, you had to buy records to have music, correct?
Yeah.
What were you doing before the remixes?
I had a job.
You had a job?
I had a job. Well, I didn't graduate school. All I want to do is play music. I wouldn't go to school. I would go home and play music. I worked in a restaurant, and obviously after the restaurant, I go home and, I'm going to play some music. I started doing house parties, and I would charge about $2 for an apartment. Then I ended up doing my own parties at a club. So I became a promoter during my own nights. And I started, it was a club in my neighborhood, started with like 50 people. That grew to 100. That grew to 200, that grew to 300, and I realized, shit. And I had a regular job. Yeah,
At a restaurant.
I had a regular job. I was making $175 a week at a restaurant. But I started to make like $1,000, $1,500
On a weekend.
on a night. Fuck the weekend, a night. And I was like, holy shit, yo, duh, I need to quit my job. You know what I mean? Because I like to work. It's like I wasn't lazy, and I was helping out a friend of mine. I was like, this is rubbish. For the abuse and the shit I gotta take for $175, when I'm already making $1,000, $1,500 a night.
And who was
This was
playing?
like 1981, 1982.
Wow. And who was playing at these parties? You?
Yeah, just me.
You were playing. So you were organizing,
Yeah.
promoting.
Decorating, making my flyers on my coffee break, putting them at the bus stop, the train station, on the poles. I mean, and then at that time is you would build your mailing list. You read your mailing list. So you mail when people came to the party, you would have them sign a book, the mailing list. So back then the mailing list was important. The mailing.
And when we say mailing list, we mean physical mail, email.
Yeah, no, mail. Ain't no
Mail.
Ain't like that. Mail is like, yo, put a flyer in an envelope,
Address.
lick that shit with your. Oh, it's a lot of fucking envelopes. Let me tell you. Do the box, do the stamp. I mean, and then in 1983, I got to play one of the most famous clubs in the world, the Paris Garage, the Mecca. You understand?
Of course.
How much they paid me at that time? $250. $250. And that was good money back then. $250. I played 11 hours. I played Friday to Saturday, actually 11 hours on Friday, 11 hours on Saturday, 22 hours, $500.
And what time did it start? Back then, it was like 11, 10,
No, 12.
12 o'clock. So you went until 11
12 to
a.m.
I came back the next night one more time, 12 to 11.
and all on vinyl, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
And not even techniques. Bronze 125 Mark II.
Alex.
Okay? Not techniques. Bronze 125 Mark II. Bell-driven turntables. Really sonically a better sounding turntable. The pitch was -3 and +3.
Wow.
Not like techniques. +8,
And
-8.
Yes.
And bell-driven. You know what I mean? So no quartz. So you were able to manipulate the bladder with your finger, smooth it in. Because back then, the records were live. So they moved.
Exactly.
It's not like today where it's like everything's like this. Yo, you had no fucking major intros. You had to know your records. And you had to like pay attention.
Amazing. So back then, the New York scene, what did it start to like burst out into Europe, into Japan? Because in the very beginning, it was you, it was Larry Levan from the Paradise Garage, and it was 5, maybe 10 major
It
artists.
was there were many other DJs before me. There was a whole other generation in New York. There was a whole other generation.
Which was in the 70s.
Yeah, well, 70s, late 70s, even early 80s, mid 80s.
Okay.
I mean, there was a lot of great, when I say great DJs, I mean, because the records were harder to mix. They're all songs, no beats, no instrumentals. It was songs, whether it's on an album or a 12-inch. So certain records, you don't have all this space. You had to know the records. I mean, and sometimes how do you work the records?
And how do you do this mix?
I mean,
So it was David Mancuso, that era, let's say?
yeah, David Mancuso was something different. So David Mancuso, which owned the loft. The loft was his house. Crazy. He had a state-of-the-art sound system. He had these crazy hi-fi turntables. His cartridge was a moving coil cartridge that was designed by a Japanese guy that made samurai swords. Now, when it comes to moving coil cartridges, for those of you that don't know about moving coil cartridge, you can't vacuum on a moving coil cartridge because the needle will break.
Okay.
You can't vacuum. So David didn't have a mixer. He had a preamp for each turntable. A preamp. No mixer. No headphone, no blending, nothing. Zero.
So one would end.
Huh?
A track would end. A song would end.
He will play the song from beginning to end.
Okay.
Period. Beginning to end. All the way to the end. Not like you hear fading into the vocal. No. Put it to the people.
And then start again.
So let me say something to all of you as we talk about this. What David Mancuso taught me at the Loft, because I was one of those kids at the DJ booth with my nose like this, like this. I mean, but what he taught me, the most important thing that you need to understand, your responsibility as a DJ, you're a selector, a programmer. So let's say when I first started, my main thing, remember back in the old days, before you had clubs, you had bars. Every bar had a jukebox. People put in a coin and they select the record. Jukebox. The record stopped, next record stopped. Then the technology came out with 2 turntables and a mixer. Now all of a sudden, bars start to advertise non-stop disco mix. This is when the disco era started. Non-stop disco mix. And that meant that the music never stopped. Never stopped. You understand? So at that time, there were no clubs. There were bars. Now, here comes the bars got DJs. Now clubs come into play.
So they have a selector.
And so the technology evolved. So David Mancuso was the only one that's like, it wasn't about the mix. It was about the music. And he had a state-of-the-art sound system that was precise. No ego or nothing. So he had a really a hi-fi system that he wanted you to hear the record the way it was made. No colors. No colors. The way it was made. No further way, nothing. The way it's made.
Flat. Beautiful. Okay, so now let's talk about technology just a little bit. The kids here and the DJs today, they have a big leap in technology from back then when you started playing music. Because I think also you told us last year that you also played at some clubs that didn't have a mixer. So the record would end and then you would just put
No. I never played a club that didn't have a mixer. No. I never played a club that didn't have a mixer.
Okay.
No.
So you started playing with the mixer, which was a 2-channel, 4-channel, 2-channel mixer. So how about today? Today we have 6-channel mixers. We have the CDJ, which has evolved from way back.
My God, remember that little bitch?
Yeah, this is the CDJ 100. It evolved. You jumped from here to here. So you played with these?
Yeah.
And
I remember when we started using those, when the people watch the DJ play on that little thing, on this thing, the people will look at you and be like, you're not playing vinyl. Yeah. Oh, it was like, yeah. So that, really, he was like, it's easy to carry fucking CDs. What are you talking about? You don't have to worry about that your records don't make it to the gig, which has happened to many of us that did vinyl back in the days, where you go to play at a club and your records don't arrive. And sometimes they've had to open a record store for me to go there and take some records so I can play that night.
Wow. So you weren't allowed to have a carry-on with, let's say, 20, 30, 40 records at least?
Yeah, but I wasn't carrying 10, 20 fucking records. I was carrying 2 boxes. You know what I mean? I was carrying 2 boxes. So when this thing came out, oh my God, it's like, this was the first evolution. This little kid right here. And then at some point, it became acceptable. It became acceptable. I mean, but for a moment, it was like, when people saw you play with that, they was like, ew, they didn't understand it.
So they wouldn't accept that heat.
Oh, they were like, oh, no. I mean, look how far that thing has come. Look at that little dinky thing compared to, look at this thing, the evolution. So after CDJs, so here came the computer. Here came Tractor. Oh, the next rebellion. You're playing the computer. That's like, Jesus Christ. It's like, oh.
Every time.
Duh. But I want to say something. Whether it's a computer, a CDJ, or vinyl. The most important, that is music. Whether it comes from a vinyl or a CD or whether it comes from a computer. It really doesn't matter. The most important thing is the music. Doesn't matter what you use. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. If you go to a festival, right? Super festival, you see the DJ up there, you don't even know where. You don't know what he's got up there. I mean, it's like you really don't. So at the end of the day, today, the people really don't care what you're using. It's about the music. It's about the music. So it's interesting to have really to watch the evolution. And not just in DJing, also in production. Mm-hmm. Production. Big time. The evolution of production saved my life. Because back then, you needed to rent a studio. It's expensive. Tapes, very expensive. Engineer, of course, you ain't know how to work none of that shit. And so now programs like Logic or Ableton, I live on Ableton. My best friend. I work on a plane. I work at the airport. I work in a taxi. I work in a boat. You know what I mean? It really, anyway, so I'm going back. So the evolution of technology has been amazing. There's the advantages to the evolution of technology, and there's disadvantages of the evolution of technology. So we say analog, digital.
Mm-hmm. So what are the pros and the cons? Why don't you play with a computer now?
I don't trust the computer. I get anxiety. If I get to do it, it's like that. And I'm from. You know what I'm saying? My whole vibe is lost.
Did you try this transition? I think
you
tried it, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. They say with proper sound card, trust me. Listen, I love Tractor. I love it. I don't trust a computer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't trust a computer. Anything can happen. You know what I mean? Anything can happen. I just don't trust a computer. So, I trust this better, the CDJ. I mean, so I see a lot of people inside. I'm like, but I've had a couple of, mishaps with a computer that if I hear something go, that's it. I'm like, what's going to happen now? Here comes the anxiety. You know what I mean? Oh, shit, what the hell else? What's going to happen? You know what I mean? So the anxiety will mess around with my vibe because I'm very sensitive.
Yes. And you live it.
Oof. So I was like, is it?
Okay. Wonderful. Greg?
I've seen you play at Cabo Paradiso in Mykonos with a laptop in the old DJ booth, which was like 3-4 years ago before coronavirus. And then I saw you again playing with this. Your vibe is nothing like now. You're the David I used to know. With a laptop, you were a bit more steady, I would say, in the DJ booth. Now you're more relaxed.
You know what the problem with the laptop? You're looking at the laptop. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You're looking at the laptop. It's like having a television in front of you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like having a television in front of you. So it's distracting. You know what I mean? The monitor is distracting because you keep looking at the monitor. You know what I mean? And for me, it's like, for me, this is the closest thing to having turntables.
Yeah.
So I have the people in front of me because that's where my attention needs to be. not like this over there. It needs to be.
Exactly. Nice. Okay.
And you can't help looking at the computer because it's in your face. You know what I'm saying? It's in your face.
Well, it's a little computer, but it is closest to the DJing of, as you said, as a turntable. And it's a lot harder to mix with, let's say, a CDJ without sync and all these buttons than you would do it as a computer. Would it help you, the computer, in your mix?
No, because with Tractor, I was using the 3000s.
So you're using the pitch.
You know, yes, as controllers, yes.
So,
Because the computer itself, you got, if you want to work that pitch,
exactly.
you got to use a mouse or
The trackpad of the.
But you can use these as a controller.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And with the 3000s, you don't even have to look at the computer. You get all the information there.
So it was like a music bank. The computer was like your music bank,
Yeah.
and the controller.
Like a hard drive.
Exactly. It was like a hard drive.
It's a hard drive.
Okay.
It's a hard drive.
Because we have a huge, let's say the kids here that have never, ever mixed music ever before. And some of them actually have played with controllers and the sync button and, okay, with the flow, is that they don't understand the mistakes that are made, because even the sync button does mistakes. I'm sure you've seen
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
So our problem is that we must teach them, let's say they must learn how to beat match by ear to feel the rhythm of the music and to know how to carry the pitch to the speed that it's supposed to be, or at least to understand if it's offbeat, if it's not on the right, if it's not on the one, because they have this problem with the computer and the computer kind of mixing their flow for them.
Well, but also with the computer, sometimes even the beat grid isn't tight.
Is wrong.
I mean, well, it could be slightly off. It could be slightly off.
So we have that philosophy that you must trust your ears more than your eyes.
Oh, absolutely. 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 I mean, I learned on turntables. I mastered the art of playing with turntables. I used to play 3 turntables, have 3 records going on at the same time. The CDJs, I like the evolution of the technology. It's like, because I'm a producer. As a producer, I sometimes like to go into sync mode because I'm working 4 decks. I'm creating a remix on the fly. I'm saying, it's not that I need to be in sync to mix. I do that shit with my eyes closed. I mean, but, and then when I want to go back, I go out of sync. You know what I'm saying? Because once you fall into the habit of sync, it becomes a habit. It becomes a habit. I mean, so in reality, it's best to learn to play not in sync. Not in sync. Because what if there was no sync? Then what are you going to do? Understand?
You won't be able to play.
Then what you going to do?
Well, it really it's always like a surprise to me when I hear a DJ playing. I've gone to some bars and clubs where the DJ plays with sync and the grid is off. The grid shows that the lines are correct, but it's offbeat. It's wrong. It didn't catch the right. It didn't catch the one. And it always makes me feel awkward that he doesn't, the DJ, that certain DJ, I've heard 3 or 4 or 5 or 10, I don't know. Greg has heard also that they don't understand about we mix on the one, or the phrase, or the 16-bar mix, or the intro and the outro. So I think the sync button has really kind of made them trust that anything they see on their computer is correct also on the dance floor. And this causes kind of like a weird, it made me feel weird that I know music, but even my wife, she didn't really know music, but she would understand that something's wrong with the beat, but the DJ wouldn't understand it.
Well, then he has no ear. Because I hear boom, boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, or there's like you have one that's on the 1 and the other one's on the 2, so you're off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a kid, whether it's a clap or the snare, it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Exactly. But I think that's the con of the sync. That's the negative part, that they learn how to mix this record to the computer and they think it's correct.
Well, they're at the point where they're pressing a button.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to this. You mean? I use it as an example. So as you're listening, you make sure the needle is right before the beat. Right before the beat. You know what I mean? And then when that thing goes, then you let it go. You understand? Because the thing is turning. So you got, because with the slip, man, you're like this, and then you listen to the record, okay, you got to catch the 1. Boom. Boom.
And then you control the speed.
And then it's like, well, you know, it really depends where your tempo is, So in today's songs, when it comes to house music, for lack of a better word, if a record is 120, then if that turntable spinner record is 120, you already know that the other record, if you're basing it that's 120, it's going to be around that area. If it's 122, 123, 24, okay, that means it's faster. I mean, how is faster? So that means, so what do? Do you make the 120 faster, or do you make the 124 slower? Right? So you have to make them meet in the middle, because you don't want the record to sound too fast, and you don't want to make it to sound too slow. Because with the turntable, the key changes. The key. I don't know if y'all know about key.
No master tempo.
I mean, there's no master tempo. So you got to be careful, because even when you speed something up, and when you speed a record too much, you lose the fidelity. It's faster, you lose the bottom. As I'm saying, even the equalization changes.
Wow. All that.
See, how you know? Can I have a beer, please? Whether it's this or whether it's tractor, there's master tempo.
Exactly.
I mean, so the key doesn't change. The key doesn't change. But what's interesting, it's great what you can do with this, because really you can do many things. Where you slow something down, it depends like what you want to do. But you can do something without the key changing. Or the sound quality doesn't change either.
Mm-hmm. The digital world.
But nothing sounds as good as vinyl. Nothing sounds as good as vinyl. Nothing sounds as good.
I wish we could see carry records and go everywhere with this, but there were some disadvantages. It was
Well,
really hard, yeah.
I said, let me ask a question to you guys. Do you know the difference between a WAV file and an MP3 file?
We just had that lesson.
Actually, we had that lesson a week ago.
If somebody plays an MP3, I can tell in a second. In a second. And that's an MP3.
Let me just say something, because we just did this lesson last week. I don't know if you remember. Maybe you remember, maybe you don't. The first time you came to the school where I invited you to see, it was 2 years before COVID, I think, or 1 year before COVID. And I was playing an MP3. And I told you, hear the sound system. And you said, what is this? You're playing an MP3. Put a wave on. And I was telling them, and I was teaching them the importance of quality, the sound. And I'm like, you understood in a very good sound system that it was an MP3 file. And it was amazing.
I had a discussion with a DJ that he's been DJing for a long time. And he played in my club, my studio, that I call the club. And I have a really incredible sound system in my studio. I got a club for like 5 people. That's why I call it the club. I should have said, insane. And so I can hear his tracks where he's playing. And wait a minute. And I said, yo, are you playing MP3s? Yeah. And I'm like, why? He goes, why? I was like, why don't you play Wave? And then much of this, I said, are you out of your mind? It's simple math. An MP3 is 320. A Wave is 1411. Or if you even go to the next level, it could be 2116. The difference between the two is major. It's like, the difference with an MP3 is that, let's say if you have a USB stick and you can put 100 MP3s. When it comes to a Wave, maybe it's 20. It takes up more space.
File size.
It's a file size. But the quality is significant. Significant. Is it if you take iTunes, the Apple, whatever, this is 256. Ain't that far. You know what I mean?
And they have AALC files, which are maybe even less. 192.
160. No, 192.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think, and is it your advice as professional DJs and building, starting to build your career and your music library, that you must have the correct quality?
Well, listen, it ain't that expensive. I mean, what are we talking about? Saving 75 cents?
Not
$1?
Not even.
I mean, listen, it's really, man, it's like, what vinyl costs or used to cost, forget about it. One vinyl, 8, 10, 12.
12.
You understand? 12. For $12, you get 5 wave files. 5.
Maybe even 6.
You mean
249. Yeah.
what? 249?
249, I think.
No,
One,
yeah.
5 and something. So it's always better to have better qualities.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially if we're going to be playing.
Absolutely. But also the DJ also needs to know, understand technology, understand the mixer. You know what I mean? What's the point of a thing if you're distorting the file?
Of course. Your gains, your levels.
Oh, for sure.
We do everything. We do everything. We break down the mixer. We break down every button, every cue, every little light, every operation. We do equalizing. We do gains. We do levels. We do the CDJ, every single button. Of course, week by week. And, as we proceed beginners to advanced, the advanced do much more with Greg. The beginners do learning about how to do the basic functions of the CDJ.
We try to make them understand what is a perfect mix. Like, keep your levels normal, standard, don't go like this, don't go down. Listen to your track, know your music, listen by ear, mix by ear, and then we get the result. Of course, it's a taste also too, right?
So what?
It's about the taste also. I mean, if you make a perfect mix, but the songs doesn't fit one to each other, that's another thing. Like, the taste matters a lot. As you said, you're a selector.
The flow.
Yeah, the flow. What makes a perfect mix for you? Like, if I send you an hour mix, what makes a perfect mix for you? What will get your attention and say, wow, this is a good DJ?
Besides the mixing, I would listen to how you tell your story.
Where you start, where you finish.
Yeah, and how you tell your story. It's like having a conversation. I'm saying it's like, how do you start off? I'm saying, how do you start off? And what's the following record? And how do you end? Understand? The story.
You normally start with something soulful and deep. You go somewhere higher, then you go down again, and you go up again.
I never know what I'm playing when I go play.
What you feel something.
Because, boy, if I play the whole night, My volume is low because the people just arriving. So my volume is low. So I have somewhere to go with the volume. Because there's nobody in the room. I mean, so you start with the volume low. Yeah, I mean, you can play whatever because people just walking in. Understand? And then you have to know when to go to the next level. I mean, what's that record to start getting people on the dance floor? And then according to how many people you have on the dance floor, where you going with the volume? You understand? As opposed to if the club opens and you're playing too loud, it's aggressive. When it's too loud, when the people start coming in, they're not gonna go to the dance floor because it's too loud. Because there's nobody in the room. It's too loud. And I'm saying, everybody, boom, 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 boom. There's nobody in the fucking room. Chill. I mean, and volume-wise, energy-wise, you got nowhere to go. I mean, now, I come from the school that you played the whole night. You understand? There was no opening, no closing. There wasn't this 2-hour shit. You played the whole night. So you had to program the night. So you start here, you build, and sometimes maybe that man playing a down-tempo record. Because back then, there was all kind of tempos. You understand? And some down-tempo records were good records. So you start with down-tempo, button work. You go up, you go up, you go up, you go up. Wow. Now, at some point, and I'm going back to the days where people, women and men danced together, okay? So you had to bring the energy down so the people can go to the bar and get a drink because the bar needs to make money. And you don't want to make the people tired right away. You understand? So when people walked off the dance floor, you didn't stress. It's okay because you know what to play to bring it back up. So you didn't stress that some people walked off the dance floor. I mean, it's like, oh my God, they don't like the music. No, not at all.
Just get a drink at the bar.
Not at all. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, like I said, couples. I mean, couples. It's not like today. You understand? Now the coach is different. So let's say that I'm the headliner, right? So there's an opening DJ. I don't prepare a set. I've never prepared a set in my life. I don't understand that. I know some people do. They practice all week. I'm gonna play like this. The fuck is that? I've seen some big name DJs. I ain't gonna say names. They had a piece of paper. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Are you joking? Yes, Sam. Are you joking? Some DJs play a mix CD. I've seen that too. Okay?
Pre-recorded.
Oh my God. Shame. So I arrived to a club 30 minutes before my set, just to understand what's going on. I mean, what's going on? So I don't know where am I starting from, because it depends on what the guy before me is playing. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's just funny. I go, some guy is opening, and I'm like, what the fuck is this motherfucker playing? He's like, he's in another stratosphere. Ain't nobody dancing. Do you see there's nobody dancing?
Maybe he's trying to make an impression to you the wrong way.
No. Listen, I've had DJs say, do you want me to slow it down before you come on or chill? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. Play your box, dude. If this is your moment. You know what I'm saying? There's people in the club, play to the dance floor. Your dance floor is full. Motherfucker, play. Don't worry about me. You know what I mean? Don't worry about me at all. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about me at all. It's like, this is your moment to shine. You're opening up, the club is full, it's big night, Damos is playing. Yo, this is your moment to shine. Don't fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, yeah, it's like, I say, I keep it. No,
David,
dude,
we have a
play.
special guest.
Play.
Special guest in the studio.
I mean,
How important is that opening DJ?
very important.
Exactly.
Very important. Very important.
What if he plays something totally out of your? I mean, if he plays progressive or trance, I don't know. What can be like the worst thing? You can walk in the club and you listen to the resident DJ playing something that is totally has nothing to do with your music. It's not like a warm-up.
It depends. Maybe either I stop it cold, I let his record finish, and his new chapter. His new chapter. You know what I'm saying? His new chapter. Because only if I start the new chapter, then I can start where I want to start. I mean, where I want to start. Otherwise, the other solution is I have to find something if that I can create that bridge from where he's at to where I want to go.
Okay.
I mean, so it's like I have to create that bridge so I can bring it to where I want. So it has to be subtle. It can't be drastic.
But usually, if you have this situation, it made you think more. It made you put you in a kind of difficult situation. Of course, you're David Morales. You're gonna skip it, but it's normally it's not the best. Yeah,
I'm doing this 45 years. I don't have difficult situations.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have difficult situations at all.
Nice.
So David, how important is it for everybody to learn how to start a night off and warm up the night for themselves? How important is that before being a headliner DJ? And, you know, a lot of kids here have some dreams. I'm sorry.
And the open here is really very important because you set the tone,
Of course.
for the night. You know what I mean? Another thing I'll educate some of you about sound. Women's ears are more sensitive than men's. Women's ears are more sensitive to high end than the men are. They're more sensitive to even loud music compared to a man.
Wow.
That's a fact.
Not for Maria. Maria's ears are not sensitive. So we have something that social media has created, and we could talk a little about social media now, is that, you know, a lot of kids see the highlights of a lot of festivals, you know, how things are now on social media, on Instagram, on TikTok and all this. And a lot of kids want to just jump into that headline state of DJing and playing at the festival for 10,000 people or 5,000 people. And when we kind of try to like hear what they're playing early, and they don't have an early set. So do you think that you make a hit right now, you make the biggest hit in the world, you're a young producer, and you make the biggest hit in the world, how important is it for you to be a DJ and know how to play from the beginning to the end? And if that hit, you know, if it's a one-hit wonder, what happens after that? How do you last for
How many of those one-hit wonder DJs?
Hundreds.
They can play more than an hour, 2 hours. That's it.
So that's the
That's it.
That's the secret of 45 years? Of your 45 years of playing? It's massive hit, but it's also amazing DJ?
No, and today, the only profession in the world that you can, you don't know experience necessary is fucking DJing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, make a hit, and you go from A to Z in a second. And just because I have a big hit, or some, you become a big DJ playing at festivals. Not because you're a good DJ at all. Okay? There's a lot of really good DJs that don't make music that aren't big name DJs. And then you have some people, there's not saying that just because they make records, or maybe they have one big record, and they're like fucking swimming. Swimming. I was born in the wrong time. But And some of these people, you can tell that they don't have the passion. You can really tell.
So it's about the money?
Of course. The money and the fame. The money and the fame. Do they really have the passion? Okay, so for me, when I have a great night, I like to go back to my hotel and be like, wow, that was amazing. That was truly amazing. And I'm my own biggest critic. I'm my own biggest critic. I mean, I say it. And when I'm like, wow, that was amazing, it was amazing. And when I'm so-so, because we all have so-so nights, you can't be great all the time at all. I don't care what you say. But some of us we're more, what's to say, consistent. I mean, consistent. But I find some DJs, again, no names, that so let's talk about commercial DJs. Commercial DJs. So you play the same shit all the time. All the time. I mean. But unfortunately, the people want to hear those records. Right? Those records.
The mass crowd.
Right? Those records. But when you play those same fucking records over and over, okay, it's like, how do you go back and say to yourself, for yourself, forget about everybody else that says, wow, that was brilliant, that was brilliant. For yourself, you know what I'm saying? How do you go back to your and like, wow, that was amazing. You understand? Because when I have those nights, it makes me realize why I do what I do. You understand? And it gives me the passion to keep doing it. You know what I mean? Because I get is there's a rush. You understand? There's a rush. So I don't do it because I don't do it for the money. Listen, I make good money, don't get it twisted. I make good money. But listen, I will play somewhere and I could do a festival and I can play the club for 200 people for a lot less money than a festival will pay. And I will appreciate it. And I will appreciate it. I said, I can do both. I can do both. But it's not about, not only do festivals. It's like, oh, no, you're not paying me because you're live somewhere. The bottom line is, I love to DJ, period. There's nothing better than playing to an audience and seeing them loving your music and dancing and seeing the smiles on their faces. That's the reward. That's the reward. You understand? And it's important when you play music, look at your audience. Don't stay like this. You understand? Look at your audience. Look at them. You understand? Look at them. Don't be in your own world. You need to be on the same level as them. Together. You know what I'm saying? You can't be in your own world. It's important to watch the audience. Very important. You have to watch your dance floor. And if you're looking down like this, you don't know what the hell's going on over there. You know what I'm saying? And many DJs they go in their own world.
Do you follow the audience or should the audience follow the DJ?
It's a give and take.
It's a give and take.
It's a give and take.
So the audience could take you somewhere.
It's a give and take. I mean, listen, it depends on your audience. It depends on your audience. When I first came to play in Greece or in Italy or anywhere in the world, really, at that time, so let's talk about when it was vinyl days. The reason what was special about me coming to play out here, and let me tell you, nobody spoke English. Greeks didn't speak English. Italians didn't speak no English. Japanese people spoke no English. But the whole attraction that a New York DJ is going to come and play New York house music because I was bringing records that I bought in a record store in New York. Of course, the places out here, they didn't have that. So the people were ready to listen to, they didn't know anything. You understand? Anything. They weren't no hit records. Zero. They didn't know anything. But they were open to it. That's what they expected. We want to it's like they're waiting to you like, what do you have for us? Understand? Now we're at a point where everybody has access to the same information. You understand?
Music.
The internet. Information. There's way too much information. Way too much. Oh my God. It's like, what is it? There's 1,000 records every day? Ridiculous. You have Traxos, you have Juno, or you have Beatport, you have house, you have soulful house, you have jack house, you got Afro house, you got tropical house, you got tech, you got techno, you got hot. It's like, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous.
How do you filter this out? Well, we know actually that 95% of your set is yours, is your productions.
Yeah.
Okay. So how should young DJs filter all this information? What is like a tip you can give us?
It's really difficult. It really is difficult because the information is moving too fast. Too fast. It's like ADD. It's like Netflix, same shit. There's another series. There's another. The same thing with music. And because it's cheap, you understand, to make, because it's an algorithm. You understand? There's no manufacturing. So there's no expense. So anybody can make a record and put it out. So because it's moving so fast and there's so much that before when we bought a record at a record store, we played that thing for months. Now I'm saying, because maybe let's say you had $30, you're making sure you making your $30 worthwhile. You understand? But if you take the internet, for me, I'm guilty of the same. How many of us on the online, you buy music and you like it for whatever, but then it's like, yeah, you don't play it. And then it's like, I'm saying. Why? Because it's cheap. Technically speaking. So you understand? So it's really difficult because it's just so much. It really is. It's like, it moves fast. It's like the life of a song is so short.
Mm-hmm.
It's really short. It's like, I'm saying.
And the fashion of the trend, let's say the trends, they go and they come in months.
Well, I mean, there's this, like I said, look how many trends there are. I mean, and I like all kinds of music, really. I like Afro, I like Ted, I like I like all of it. But the time you have to spend listening to stuff, you know what I'm saying? Even if you took the top 10 songs of each genre, let's say if you like different genres, top 10. And let me tell you something. Fuck the top 10. Everything is behind the top 10. Everything, all the best stuff is behind the top 10. I mean, I'll check out those top 10 and say, everything's in the back. I mean, everything's in the back. But there's so much. Because man, each genre, 100 records in the chart. 100. You have 4 genres, 400 records. To listen to all of it? Shit, I get up to 50, I'm done. I mean, I'm done.
Do you listen? Do you listen to music? Do you listen to releases? Do you follow?
Of course.
You follow.
Absolutely.
So what could they do? What could all these, upcoming DJs or DJs, there are a lot of kids here that are, they're DJs now. What can help them?
Listen, the difference between one DJ and the next is a selection. That's the difference between one DJ and the next. You have your taste. I have mine, right? Maybe we'll cross somewhere, but, that doesn't mean that we both we hear the same records the same. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a taste.
So you have to like choose your own
Yep.
style.
You have to choose. This is a record I like. This is a record I like.
And then we see how we will play them.
Yep.
Okay. So now the most interesting
This is what makes one DJ better than the other. That he has a better ear. Because it goes back to selection. That's saying. You have a better.
So it's the quality of music you choose, but your set.
Well, I buy what I like. I mean, it ain't what I think the people want. I buy what I.
And this is what you will present.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. Now, sometimes I may hear somebody play something that I don't know. You know what I mean? And I want to know what it is. I want to say, you may play something, yo, Dino, what's that?
in Cabo,
You know what I'm saying? I go, yo, what's up? I mean, I was like, I don't know anything. So sometimes you hear somebody play something, or maybe you do Shazam. People try that shit with me, but it's like, it ain't out. Forget about it. Shazam ain't working. I don't know everything. I mean, every DJ is like, it's nice when you hear another DJ play. Yo, what's that? What's that? I'm saying.
if you could separate a percentage of how much, you have 24 hours in a day. You're very active producing. You're very active traveling. You're very active DJing. You're very active going to the gym. You're very active managing your business. David Morales is also a business. If you could separate a percentage of time in each action, how much would it be? How much would you be? How much of a percentage do you produce? How much do you DJ? How do you separate your life?
And the record label too, huh?
And the record label, of course.
Well, my wife runs.
The record label.
My wife runs David Morales. I'm allowed to party and have tequila and have a good time. I miss music is my life. I'm in the studio. I live 5 minutes from the studio. I go home, studio, home, studio. Weekend, go out to play, back home, same cycle.
Oh, it's in the studio.
Yeah, I spend most of my time in the studio. Not playing. I mean, besides my Sunday mass I do on Sundays, but I don't need to practice how to play. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, it's like
Sunday Mass was something you started during COVID?
Yeah.
And you've kept it even today that you travel more.
I love it. It's my favorite club in the world. And it's virtual. It's virtual. It's hilarious. It's like I imagine a crowd. I have a virtual crowd. But there's no dance floor, so I can play what I want. What I want. Period.
And it's a big club. It's a big following.
I mean, yeah, it's international. So I'll play. I also want to teach people. I want them to hear the history of music. You know what I mean? The history. And it's been the best thing why I enjoy so much because I play what I want. So whatever you want to play, whatever I want to play, it's almost like my own listening session for like 5 hours. But I got an amazing sound system. So I'm in my world.
You got lights.
I'm in my world. I got lights. I got fog machine. I got a lighting console. It's like I'm doing the lights. Because in the old days, the DJ did the lights. Who else knew the music better than the DJ? So it's like back to basics.
So David, if somebody wants to book you on a Sunday, you don't book your Sunday?
Yeah, of course. Crazy? Absolutely.
So you do the radio show and then you fly after, or you don't?
If I play on a Sunday, if I can't make the Sunday, then I record it.
Okay.
Then I record it.
So you don't miss a single week mixing Sunday Mass.
I missed last week.
Okay, last week.
Saturday, it's like I have flight delays. It's like and my body was tired.
Okay.
So I laid on the sofa and I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah.
You know what? It's not like, I've only missed 4 Sundays in almost 4 years.
Wow.
Okay, that's a good percentage.
Oh, super. I mean, it means a lot to me. It changed my world. It really did. COVID, it changed my world. Well, a lot of people were stressed out. DJs were stressed out. Oh, boo hoo hoo. It gave me time to produce, to spend time. As opposed to always want to be on the road and you come home and it's like, I don't want to go to the studio. I mean, so it gave me time to dedicate to making music.
Since you play stuff that you don't play on the road, probably you can even remember something old you made or somebody else made and give you another idea to go in the studio, which is not
always
all the time.
Always. It's like, even when I'm playing, I'm like, shit, I got an idea. I mean, and I try to remember the idea. And then when I go back to my hotel room, if I go to sleep, I'm already working on the idea.
Okay.
So I don't lose the idea. But yeah, of course, as I'm playing some things, it's like I'll get inspired. It's like I'll get some ideas.
I get the same stuff, but I always forget the ideas. Like the moment I think about it, I say, wow, that's a good idea. Then if I don't write it down or sing it to my phone, it's done.
Well, while I'm playing, it's like, it's too loud. It's like, I can't sing shit.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't that. So sometimes it's like, what was I thinking about? What was the idea? I mean, because I'm just like, shit. It's like, there'll be something, it's like, I'll think about a loop. Oh, shit, that loop. Blah, blah, blah. And I try to remember it. And I was like, I go back, what was that loop? What was that loop? What was that little, what was that little section?
And then you remember, of course, and then go back in the studio and put it down.
Most of the time, I remember. Most of the time, I remember. Most of the time.
Can I make a question about Ableton? Because you said Ableton is your best friend. Probably before Ableton, you used to work with some other program. Which was that? And let's say, because some of the people here work with Logic, some other with Ableton, depends.
Actually, right now, I think how many people are producers in the producing school? So it's them. And the only one that uses Logic
is George.
Is one, and everybody else is into Ableton.
Okay, so the question was, let's say, pick 1 or 2 things, or even more if you want, that made you choose Ableton and fall in love so much with it, because you said Ableton is my best friend. So this is what I want to find out. Which functions of Ableton is the ones that made you fall in love with it and like forget anything else, I'm only with Ableton?
In my house, I have Pro Tools.
Okay.
I had a studio in my house. But my engineer was my roommate. I'm stupid when it comes to technology. It's like, I don't want to read a manual. That's just backwards to me. You know what I mean? So we have Pro Tools, and I just never, right? And when I started with Ableton, I started editing. To do edits.
So cut, paste, move, stuff,
yeah. And I started doing mashups. And then from there, then I started to make music, arrange. And because before I didn't know how to use Pro Tools. If I wanted to make a record, I had to ask my engineer, yo, I want to do so. I was a slave to someone. I mean, a slave. And what Ableton allowed me to do was to work independently. You understand? The freedom. So when I got an idea, Not like, can we go downstairs? You know what I'm saying?
So the speed and the workflow of Ableton is something that you point out, like it's very fast if you want to do stuff.
For me, I fly on Ableton.
Yeah.
I fly on Ableton. I'm like, you know what I mean? It allows me, it's like, I'm a DJ first. DJ first and always. So I'll make mashups, edits. I may buy a record on a digital store. Not because I like the record. Maybe I like the intro. Maybe there's something I like. I'll buy some records like, oh shit, it's like, oh, I can do something with that. I like create, I create my own thing.
Like sampling.
Yeah, absolutely. Beat with blah blah blah. It's for me. It's easy. It's easy. For some of you that are into Ableton, don't get crazy about all plugins, blah 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 blah. Because I don't care. You have to know your sounds. All this, compare this, Trust me, I'll put some together. I want to use my favorite plugin is the filter, the one knob filter. That's my favorite plugin. Or in Ableton, if you want to, in the audio effects section, you know what I mean? Whether it's rolling off the kick or maybe doing some filter kind of shit. But I don't get crazy in plugin land.
So just
Also
basic stuff.
his job. Isn't that also like the engineer for him?
No, not necessarily. I mean, not necessarily. It really depends. I only use the engineer when something is more sophisticated. Vocals, that's instruments. But when it comes to like some underground shit that I put together, I do it because it needs to have that rawness. You know what I mean? That dirt.
That roughness.
That roughness. You know what I'm saying? Where if I give it to an engineer, he's going to fuck it up. He's going to make it too clean. It's like, oh, what the fuck happened? You know what I'm saying? So it needs that.
So I've noticed these past 2 years, all your music, and I'm not talking about original productions with some singers that you do in London and all these vocal productions, but all your edits, also the ones you give me, they have a certain, that signature roughness that you say. Does this help you in your set when you play live for people to know that it's your music?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. I think maybe when it comes to some of the vocal house things, maybe. But when it comes to something like the techier stuff, Red Zone, no.
Okay. No. And
or the Afro house as well, no.
Okay. Excellent. A collaboration that was one of your best collabs in the past 40 years. Really? Someone that you worked with, an amazing singer. Maybe Mariah or Jamiroquai.
Well, in the last 2 years?
No, in the last
40. 40?
Yeah.
That's fucked up. Dude, I'm trying to let people think that I'm fucking 35 years old. The most intimidating artist I ever worked with was Aretha Franklin.
Wow.
Yeah. It was Aretha Franklin. Wow. I was shitting my pants. It's like, how do I tell Aretha Franklin? I had an idea. It's like, how do I tell Aretha Franklin, give her my opinion? I mean, when she's worked with all the great producers ever, it's the Queen of Soul.
And how was the studio session?
Amazing. She said to me, she made me feel comfortable. She said, you're here for a reason. You're here for a reason. Now, I wasn't really a producer yet. I was like, I was a King Remix at the time. But she said, you're here for a reason. And she told me, I'll never forget these words. More is less and less is more. If you can figure what that means. More is less and less is more. Think about that.
Production-wise.
Yeah. Donna Summer. I bought Donna's, my first album I ever bought was Donna Summer. I was like 14 years old. Wow. 14. For me, it's like, because I'm a Donna Summer fan. So working with Donna Summer was like, my life came full circle. I worked with Mariah, yeah, okay, but whatever. Donna Summer.
How did these contacts happen? Like with Donna, Aretha, with Mariah?
I was a very successful remixer.
So they looked for you,
Yeah.
their record companies or the artist?
No, the record company.
The record company.
And one brought another, probably. You do one good one, and then the other one comes.
I was mixing 2 or 3 records a week. Okay. I would make a remix in 48 hours. I would live in the studio. Live. Okay? Live. But all of us, well, it was like having fun. I'll never do that shit again. But really, I was mixing minimum 2 records a week, sometimes 3. I created some hit records. You know what I mean? CC Peniston, Finally. That's a remix. Everybody knows Finally CC Peniston. That was a remix. They paid me a flat price. You know who went to the bank? The producer and the songwriter.
They went to the bank.
But yet, of course, that shit sold millions. Another record, Shabba Ranks, Mr. Loverman. Another one, millions. I did Pump Up the Jam, another one. I'm saying.
What was your payout? It was always flat fee,
Flat fee.
which was at that time a couple thousand.
No, minimum 25,000.
Oh, okay.
But you had expenses. The studio alone was 2,500 a day. The studio.
So that's
It's like, so the expenses, some is 25, 30.
but they were selling records. They were selling records. Okay. So this was a nice pass. I was thinking about what you told me yesterday about money you invest into your productions. And you were telling me that you pay for the singers and you'll pay for the studio. And sometimes you pay for musicians, I think. I saw you 2 years ago with some violin players.
It's expensive.
It's expensive. So do you think with the technology that we have and regarding the economic, status of these young kids that they can today, do they have to invest in their productions? Do they have to invest into DJing? Do they have to put some money into it?
Into what?
Into producing and into DJing?
Well, that's two different ideas. You know what I mean? There's DJing and there's producing. You know what I mean? To invest in a DJ, it's all about economics of what someone can afford. Whereas a controller, that's why controllers are so popular, because they're economical.
Exactly.
You understand? They're economical. I mean, this one CDJ is what? What is that, 3,000? I mean, for 2,
6 plus the mixer.
plus a mixer. You ain't have speakers yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's expensive. It's why the controllers are so popular, because it's a single unit. But the one thing I must elaborate on, the difference of sound between a controller and CDJs and a mixer. A controller, wherever it goes to the sound source, is coming out left and right RCA or XLR. Stereo, left and right. That means normally it's like 4 channels, right? There's 4 channels, but coming out through one source.
Right.
Whereas if you have 4 CDJs, each one of them through a mixer is separate, going into a separate channel.
That's for quality.
So offered 100%. 100%.
Actually, the European manager of Pioneer did a seminar a couple years ago at our school, and we asked him about why are all these controllers coming out and why are they cheap and why is it so expensive? And he said that we need to give the art of DJing to people that can't afford the CDJs and the mixers.
Listen, I had one time, I was at a friend's club, and there was this young kid. He had a controller. It was like a fucking toy. I swear to God. I swear to God, my God. That thing was like this fucking small. But it sounds like shit. There's no output out of that thing. But let's face it, you can buy a controller for what? 75 euro? €100. I mean, minimum. So at least the technology has become affordable. I mean, so at least somebody that really wants to play music but can't afford it, that at least they can have fun.
Yes.
I mean, because that's the most important thing. You want to have fun. You want to have fun. I want to play some music. You're excited. So I don't care how many of y'all, whatever you buy first, you take that shit home. You're so happy. I remember when I got my first turntable. I had a job. I would go to the store. I would put $20 a week recording layaway. And when I got those turntables, I took them shits home. It was Christmas. I looked at those things. Oh my God, almost like, oh my God. I go to work. I can't wait to go home and like play with those turntables. You know what I mean? And they were the cheapest techniques at the time. They were $99, and they weren't $1,200. They were B1s. They were belt drive. They were one of the cheapest techniques at the time. But who cares?
So you did invest
Who cares?
in your first.
Wait a second. You have to invest something.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You have to invest something. Also, how are you going to play?
And production-wise, how important it is to invest some money in a studio, in an engineer, in a singer, in a musician.
It really depends. I'm going to give all of y'all the best advice. That I should have taken this advice myself. Instead of playing ping pong every fucking day in the studio. Learn how to play a piano. Trust me. Remember what I said to you. And the reason why I say it, for one, because you will learn how to make music. Number one. You understand? Number two, learning how to make music will make you a better DJ. 100%. Because you will understand how to make music. You have an ear. And I sometimes see, when I play music, I'm a DJ, and I'm also a producer, because I understand music. You will get a better ear for the key or slash pitch. And and the piano is one of the most amazing instruments to learn. I guess maybe it could be guitar. But piano is piano, because to make music, you gotta hit that keyboard. I mean, it's like you have to. So for me, I would say buy a keyboard. Well, you have to buy a keyboard. We could buy a MIDI keyboard, but you will need a program. You will need a program. I don't think you really. Maybe some people just want to make tech tracks, instrumentals. Do you need a singer? No. Understand? Do you really need an engineer? No. You understand? But you have to know your sounds. So instead of going crazy, how do I get my to have a reference? Play a record that to you sounds good. That's your reference. You know, wow, this record sounds good. Now when you start to program, okay, how do I get my record to sound like that, more or less? You know what I'm saying? You're not going to learn something right away. At all. Trust me. When I made some of my first things, ciao. But I'm doing this a long time. So for some of y'all, even still remember, if you're a DJ and you want to make records, it's good to really it's like edit records, make your own mashups. It's like have fun. Don't get stressed out. Have fun. Keep it simple. Because to make music, it's supposed to be fun. It's not a job. You're supposed to have fun. Listen, not everything I do is amazing. I'll tell you, But it's nice, like I said, like today, I start on something. I told you, yo, I did a mashup today. Yo, I'm sending it to you. Once you get the hang of it, it's like, it's easy. I keep it simple. I keep it simple. So when you say it has a big, like, investment, everything is about your economics, what you can afford. And whatever you can afford, buy it and learn it. Learn it until you know that shit inside out. And do whatever you can with what you got. As opposed to being worried about what you don't have. I'll tell you a funny story. I had a studio in my house in Brooklyn. And the first time I worked with Todd Terry. Okay. I have a studio. I got keyboards. Or this, I got a 16-track. I was using Vision at that time. Vision was one of the first computers that came out. I said, "You want me to rent anything for you?" No. He came with an SB1200 film machine, sequencer, sampler. The fuck? I was like, holy shit. All those crazy tracks Todd Terry did back in those days on that fucking box. On that box. Cypress Hills, DJ Muggs, same shit. The fucking box. They would sample records into the drum machine, edit, arrange the sequencing, raw, okay? Raw, out the box. I was like, I got schooled. Motherfucker with a box. I was like, oh. So he had a drum machine. You understand? And he made some sick records, sampling records into this drum machine. Crazy shit with that. So it's really whatever you have, work that shit. You know what I'm saying? Exploit it, rape it until, okay, then we have money. Okay, what's next? What's next? But if you keep it simple, you will enjoy that much more. When you got too much information, you're not going to have a good time. You're going to get frustrated. All right? It's like you're a jack of all trades, but the master of none.
Nice. Καταλαβες. Καταλαβες. Jack of all trades. Jack of all trades, για να ξέρετε, είναι ότι ξέρεις πολλές τέχνες, αλλά καλός δεν είσαι σε καμία. Έχει, ξέρεις, ένα νόημα. All right, so before we go to a break for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, David, one of the most talked about issues we have, social media. I know you've been very active lately, but you have a team. I know.
I hate it.
How much do we need it as artists?
It's very important. Unfortunately, it's the evolution. It's terrible. I hate it, really. I'm 61 years old. You think I give a fuck about social media? Are you serious? You know what I'm saying? It's like, really, are you serious? I pay a social media company.
Yeah, you have a...
I just the same. Why? Because I have to. As an artist, I have to. If you leave it up to me, I don't give a shit. Really. Trust me. I don't get on every day, look at Instagram or like that. I really don't. It's like I said, it's like I have other people that are working that have to tell you what's going on, but it's like, I don't wake up like, let me look, let me scroll.
Waste of time.
But I come from a different generation. You know what I'm saying? But for new generation, in general, this is the evolution. Every business, whatever, as an artist, yes, it's mandatory. You know what I'm saying? It's how you promote yourself.
And your music.
Absolutely.
And right now, how many people your team consists of?
One. Mind you, my team is all women, just so you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And which they work on?
Me. All I do is make music. That's it.
So it's about
That's it.
doing your music. Is it?
They run the business. Social media, the record label, my flights, the agency,
Booking.
and my job is to make the information. Is to make the money.
The product.
Is to make the money. I mean, to make the money.
All right.
I mean,
Beautiful.
because it's really difficult. It's difficult to do everything. I mean, everything. It's really not easy. I mean, it's really not easy. And a lot of people, a lot of new producers, they go in blind because they don't know the business. I'm saying because they don't know the business. And there's a lot of sharks out there. I take advantage.
And a lot of competition.
I'll forget about that. That's a whole nother story. It's unfortunate that every new DJ thinks that they have to make music. And unfortunately, this is what it's become. It's not good enough that you're just a good DJ and you just want to play records.
Need production.
You know what I'm saying? But not everybody is cut out for production. With it. I mean, it's not like, oh, I have to. Or some people say, oh, I need a manager. No, you don't. You don't need a fucking manager. You need an agent, but you don't need a manager. There's two different differences between a manager and an agent. Huge.
All right. Πάμε σε ένα διάλειμμα 15 λεπτάκια. Τελεία. Thank you. We'll go to a recess.
No idea.
Little.
Pardon?
Αυτό που βλέπω στις οθόνες και μετά θα πάμε σε ένα Q&A. Πόσοι από εσάς δεν απαντήθηκαν σε ερωτήσεις από τον David και έχετε να ρωτήσετε κάτι? Σηκώστε χέρι. Ένας. Από 80 άτομα. Μόνο, ναι, εντάξει. Να βάλετε 2, 3. Ντρέπεστε. Ντρέπεστε ο άνθρωπος ήρθε, έβαλε τα ερωτήσεις. Μετά. Έχουμε. Τέλεια. Αν δεν έχει απαντήσει κάτι, δεν θα ξέρω τις φούτες. Το να μπεις ή κάτσε εκεί πίσω όλη την ώρα? Και εδώ θέση, έλα εδώ. Έλα, τι λέω, εκεί στα ζήτητα. Από εδώ έλα, από το κέντρο. Πάμε. Έλα. Αυτή δεν ξέρω αυτό. Νικό, είσαι για κλωτσές σήμερα. Θα γίνει χαμός, να ξέρεις, θα σε βάλω να μιλήσεις αγγλικά. Εδώ, σε αυτήν κάτσε. Τι αυτή είναι, ό,τι θες. Η μάνια πρέπει κάθε εκεί. Ελία. Α, είσαι εκεί, πες το καλέ. Με τα γραφή. Έλα, πάμε, εντάξει. Τέλεια. Everyone here, όλοι εδώ. Πάμε. What are you counting? What was it? You're counting something.
I was.
So, David, I'm a businessman, and I feel that I'm your good friend. You're one of my best friends and one of my mentors, we've said many times in the music. So, I had an idea and I called you. Ακούγομαι, έτσι. Τέλεια. Κόβεται λίγο. Ναι. Θα με φτιάξει εδώ, Τάσος, κόβεται λίγο. Έλα να με φτιάξει.
Όταν γυρνάς, δεν το πιάνει, όταν μιλάς, δεν το πιάνει.
Hello, check.
Δεν το πιάνει κανονικά.
So I had an idea and I called you because I knew that you were kind of like seeing what we were doing with the school these past, actually right before COVID and the past 2-3 years. And I kind of like threw it out there for us to give the attendees at our school a certificate. And it was an honor, and it was huge for me, for you to, because I know you're a very difficult person as it comes to where you put your name. And this is very important for everybody to understand that David is very difficult on what he puts his name on in general. Music, business, promotions, records, or whatever. So I threw the idea at you. So I just wanted 1 or 2 words on why did you finally accept to, sign something that a new upcoming DJ could have a motivation for him to have on his wall, completing our school.
Well, did we discuss about giving out a certificate as a sign of accomplishment? So it's almost like graduating. And which really as opposed to just going through the motions of the class, you know what I'm saying? There has to be a sense of accomplishment. I mean, even as people graduate from university, schools, they get the acknowledgement. I mean, where it's a diploma, it's something that they can put in the words to say, I've graduated, I put in the work, and I got my certificate. So I know how much work everybody puts into this. There has to be dedication. Understand? And I hope that everyone graduates, and it will be my honor to sign me personally the certificate, and I will be here to sign that certificate and a show of the support of your accomplishment. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'm trying not to get emotional.
You are emotional.
I'm
Let
an
go.
emotional person. I'm terrible. I'm a little bitch sometimes. I come here. I don't come here for money. I'm not being paid to do this. Okay? I'm not being paid to do this. I appreciate the dedication that Dino has done with his academy. And we actually we're having an idea to open up an academy in Italy. You know what I mean? Because I like the way Dino does things. I'm not here to stroke his ego at all. I don't waste my time. I really don't. I'm here. It's my pleasure. I want to keep it simple. I hope that the bottom line for all of y'all, that you love music, because this is number one. If you don't love music, go home. Quit. Don't bother. If you're doing this because you want to be a star and all that bullshit, quit. Because you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be disappointed. Because some of y'all are going to make it and some of y'all are not. Understand? When I said earlier, I'm a bedroom DJ for life, because nobody can take that away from me. So if you're here to learn how to DJ, because please, I hope because you love music and you want to know what it is to make music, or maybe to share music with others, whether it's in your house, whether it's in a bar, whether it's at a club, really, who knows? Don't have expectations. Really, don't have expectations, because otherwise you set yourself up for disappointment. Understand? It's like, so if you do this, it's because you love it, and you will love it for the rest of your life. Period. Period. Music is something to have fun, to share with others, to bring joy. Music is a powerful weapon. That's what I'm saying. It really is. And that's why it's so amazing when you share something with people when you really mean it. Not that you want to be, oh, I want to do this, I want to be a star, oh, Fuck off. Call your losses. Call your losses. Call your losses. So I want to be an example. I want to be an example. I want to be an example. Music is my life. When I say it's my life, it's my life. I'm lucky that I can make a living. I can make a living. But I've dedicated my soul to music. You understand? My soul. The work, the consistency, the dedication. Now, yes, many of y'all, listen, it's easy for me to say what I'm saying. It's like some of y'all go to school, some of y'all have jobs. So I started just like you. Remember that. Just like you. I had a job. At the end of the day, I had to pay rent. I had to buy in my spare time, the time that I had that was spare, I went music. That's how. I didn't read a book. I play music. I didn't play video games. I play music. So you understand? If you give 100% to anything in your life, be a relationship, friendship, work, a hobby, then you deserve 100%. If you don't, if you get 50%, that's what you deserve, and that's what you're gonna get back. Okay? How have I ever said? I'm trying to write because I come in waves. I speak a different language when it comes to this, because I really do. It's like there are DJ schools that blah blah blah. It's like, I don't know where some of these places teach. You know what I'm saying? Dino brings me here because I bring a different experience and knowledge to the game. Because I'm part of the beginning of. A lot of people don't know the beginning of the game. Like before house music even existed. Before house music. You know what I'm saying? Music. You know what I'm saying? I first bought my first record. I was 10 years old. A friend of mine just gave it to me the other day, a 45. It cost me 75 cents, which I asked my mom for 75 cents. I took that record. We lived on the first floor. I took that record on a bullshit cheap sound system. I put the speaker out the window. I must have played that fucking record 100 times. I think my mom wanted to fucking kill me and break the fucking record. But that's the dedication. That's the passion. That's the passion. I mean, it's important to have the passion. And even when it comes to making music, don't make music, or I have to make music. Make music because you want to make music, not because you have to. Because if you feel like you have to, you're not gonna enjoy it. And music is supposed to be fun. Music is made to celebrate life, to share with others, to make people smile. That's what music is about. Music is not sad. It's not negative. It's a positive thing. So, let me stop right here. let me stop right here before but it's my pleasure to be here. My pleasure to be here. I will be back at the graduation ceremonies. I hope to see all of y'all again at the end of the day. Don't be discouraged. Will you? Oh, no. What? Don't be discouraged. Listen, don't be discouraged. You know what I'm saying? Don't be discouraged. Don't get frustrated. Don't get frustrated. Some will advance faster than others. There's nothing wrong with trying to pursue a dream. Wow, here it comes. Because I am living a dream. You understand? I am living a dream. I really am. You understand? I'm living a dream. And I hope I never wake up from this dream. Really. You understand? I'm grateful to experience and have this moment. I'm grateful to have this moment here because God has given me a position to inspire others and to teach. I have made it. I made it. I made it. I made it. I never in my wildest dreams that kid that bought a 45 7-inch record before the evolution ain't had to do with DJ, that I would arrive when I'm traveling the world, different cultures, and sharing music with people, because that's what it is. Yes, Sam. So when I think about the house party, when one turntable, you invite people to your house, your friends, whatever. It's the same shit. The only difference, instead of you playing for 2 or 3 of your friends, it's 200. It's 1,000. It's 10,000. It's the same philosophy. It's the same. You're playing music for people. The dynamics don't change. Those are the rules of the game. My name is Stan. Sorry, I am not afraid to show my emotions at all. You know what I'm saying? Never be afraid to show your emotions at all. Don't hide behind a tree. Thank you, everybody. Salabi.
Yeah.
I don't know where I that person. Oh,
Emotional.
that's all right.
Thank you very much. Livon, well, let's go to some questions just to wrap up. Okay. Para todo.
Damn, I thought that was on my fucking I thought it was my hurrah.
So, do you hear me?
Do you hear me?
No.
Yeah. Akuma.
Okay. Salga.
English.
Okay.
I don't, my man. I don't tipo that.
I want to describe you my kind of perception I have for music, and if you agree with that, I want your opinion.
Of what?
Of my opinion and my perception for music.
Your perception of me?
Of music.
Of music.
If you agree with that,
Well, agree with what?
What is your perception?
I see it like a woman like that I crazy in love with her, and if I let my emotion, if I express my emotion so much to her, I will push her away.
Is this about music or relationship?
It's both of them, because I want to.
Is it about a relationship?
No, it's about both of. It's an allegory.
It's just only about it. Is he here?
You have to. I believe that in the industry you have to keep your feeling for this thing to have control of it, because you have to concentrate into other things as well.
Wait, control what?
Your feelings.
Your emotion for music, and you can't be in a room for your lifetime and make love with music.
Why
You
not?
have to show.
Why not? What do you mean control music? Music should be an escape. Music is of fun. You don't control music like you control emotions. At all. At all. What are you talking about? You don't control music. There is no control of music. You know what I'm saying? It's not like controlling a person or whatever the case may be. Music is free form.
But you have to.
But what? I hate the word but because but's a fucking excuse. So, but what?
You have to control your emotions, not the music.
Θες να μου πεις στα ελληνικά να το μεταφράσω? Wait one second, David. Θες να μου το πεις στα ελληνικά να το μεταφράσω καλύτερα? Πες το μου.
Μα που έχεις για τη μουσική, πρέπει να το κοντρολάρεις με τα υπόλοιπα πράγματα που πρέπει να δημόσιες σχέσεις, όλα τα υπόλοιπα πράγματα που πρέπει να...
Yeah, translate.
I'll translate it better. Αλλά αυτό βέβαια δεν έχει καμία σχέση, αλλά καταλαβαίνω τι λες. Εσύ ρωτάς ότι...
Υπάρχει μια ισορροπία. Δηλαδή,
με τα συναισθήματά σου, okay. I know the answer, so I'll let you answer him. What he's asking is that he feels that you should control your emotions so you could balance your energy out with public relations, networking, remixing, producing, your personal life, your girlfriend, your wife, your kids. Σωστά τα λέω. Σωστά τα λέω. Δεν με έχετε ξανακούσει να μιλάω αγγλικά, Φουλάκια.
No, I think, wait, maybe he's describing it wrong. I think maybe it's about balancing your time. Not emotions, your time.
Είναι χρόνος ή είναι
not the time.
Emotions.
Yes.
Okay, you got the answer before. If you want, you could answer it again.
Emotion is like, what do you mean? So you have to control your emotion between music, between this one. Then you need to see a therapist.
Πρέπει να πας σε ψυχίατρο.
I really, it's like, I really, so try to say that you need to, when you see that you need to control, I don't understand what the word control means. It's like, it's not supposed to sound frustrating. Listen, if you're married or you have a relationship, that's one thing. You have kids, yeah. Yo, it's like, you got a job. Okay, you want to be a DJ, or it's like with many people, okay, so here's social media. It's all how you balance your life. How you balance your life. I mean, and everybody has a different way of how they balance their time and their life. Some people have more drama at home, and some don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we're here to talk about the music, the art of DJ. The rest that has to be managed. So we talk about, as an artist, what's important to play the game. To be an artist, social media is important. Now, everything else that comes in between that, relationships can be difficult with someone that has passion and a dream. And if they don't understand that passion and that dream, they may say to you, oh, you're wasting your time, where are you going? Then you have to handle that at the end of the day. Well, never let anybody get in your way. No one. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like, oh, you're wasting your time. Why should they have the right to say to you that you're wasting your time? You understand? Because if it's a passion, now unless you say, oh, I'm going to school because I want to be a star, then that's when somebody has to say, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're wasting your time. I mean?
And I can just add that, I'll say it in Greek so you can understand, but everything he showed here, ό,τι έδειξε αυτός ο άνθρωπος εδώ, is that you don't control any emotions about music. And it's different.
Music is emotion.
Exactly. And it's
music
different.
is emotion. Music is beautiful. Well, most times of music. It's like hardcore fucking techno, blah, 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 blah. That's not beautiful. But music really...
For some people.
No, I say beautiful. No. Listen, you don't wake up in the fucking morning and say you start your day, have a cup of coffee, you have some fucking banging fucking techno on your fucking ear. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's exactly the right way to start your day. I know, really, but listen, there's two kinds of music, good and bad. I don't care what style it is. Finish.
So also, just it's different, the energy. The energy is for social media. The energy is for your family and for your wife, the energy. The emotions can't be controlled. Πάμε. Εδώ στο μικρόφωνο έχει κάποιος εδώ, Σόλτο. Πάρε εσύ και μετά πάμε σε έναν. Και δίνε το μικρόφωνο στον επόμενο.
Mr. Morales.
Περίμενε λίγο. Talk. Μίλα.
Mr. Morales. How to check the sound at the club to play for the first time?
How to do a sound check.
I do a sound check.
How to do a sound check.
Not everybody has the luxury of doing a sound check.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Not everybody has if I have to play, let's say at a festival, and the festival starts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, my flight doesn't get in until 3, 4 o'clock. I can't do sound check. You understand? I try to do sound check as much as I can, but sometimes I can't do sound check. I mean, I can do sound check. And the only time I do sound check is for the monitors, not the sound system of the club. The monitors. I mean,
You can't change the sound system of a club. It's already done.
they can't change the sound system on the club.
Unless you have a tech with you maybe, and you go into the club's system. I've done that with you. You've done that with me.
It's like I've done that before, but like I said, if I can do sound check, but it's like when it comes to festivals, it's really just about
Correct.
monitors. You ain't doing nothing with that. So 2 out of 3 times I do sound check, and I used to do sound system as well, because sometimes I do have to even EQ the main sound system.
Marian? Okay. Next one. Πού πάμε?
Ποιος έχει? Πάμε ένας. Πάμε Βαγγέλη.
Hi, David. Hi, David. Thank you very much for coming. As you are a late 80s and 90s artist, so you have lived the whole booming of the house music. I would like to answer a question to me that I am a record collector from the early eras of 80s and 90s, and I had a very big gap in my music collection since the early 2000s, since now. During the last 2 years, I started refamiliarizing myself with the house music scene because I was left apart due to personal and professional obligations that came into my life. And I realized by creating a Beatport account that all the trending stuff are based into tracks and compositions that took place in the early 70s or 80s or 90s eras. And I realized that our era right now is lacking of creativity and new stuff, and always recycling stuff from the disco era, from the Chicago house era, and almost stuff that created and recycled in the last 30 years. Why do you believe that the new artists are lacking of creativity and recycling stuff of the previous years?
Well, as I was saying, somebody before, that when you're starting out with Ableton, you don't have no experience with musicians. You have no experience with singers. So it's easy to take an old disco record and add some beats and rework it. You know what I'm saying? It's gone on so much where we call it new disco, which is new disco. It's not a matter of, you really can't say there's a lack of creativity, because when I did Needing You, which is one of my biggest records, it's a sample of 2 disco records. You understand? Now I did that record, in 3 hours. I didn't even want to put that record out. know what I mean? I was like, oh, it's a sample. Like, oh, no, I produce Mariah Carey. I don't, oh, no, this is beneath me. I was playing that record out everywhere. Everybody was like, what the fuck is this record you playing?
Big ones.
You know what I mean? A simple record. I never knew it would be a big record, but it's a sample. So what's happening today is like, unfortunately, they're releasing these records. This is what's wrong. It's wrong to the writer. It's wrong to the artist. But because there's so much information, there's no policing. There's no regulating. So really, you can't be mad or say about lack of creativity. You're still being creative. It's not really not fair. It's like there's a lack of creativity. It's like listen, maybe if I was starting out making a DJ that I like some disco, it's like maybe I would be guilty of the same thing.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? I said, I'm not saying that, but to say that, listen, that's a lack of creativity. Listen, some people do some of those no disco things, and they're good. Some of them are good. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are good. It's like, is somebody trying to be creative as best as they can. You know what I'm saying? As what they can. And I think in all fairness, that's how they'll learn. They'll learn. Because what they're doing really is editing, adding some beats, some filtering, la, 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 la. But they're creating. Understand? When Todd Terry did his sample shit, those are samples of other people's records. They became super records. But they were sample records. But when he's that young kid, 20-something years old, that's what he's doing. He's being creative. So he's got a box. How do I be creative and have fun with this box? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Ποιος είναι μετά? Ποιος έχει το μικρόφωνο?
A lot of hands.
Πάμε. Hi, David. Ακούμε. Hi, David. I would like to ask, how would you describe a successful DJ career?
Successful?
Successful DJ career. A successful. A success.
That's an easy answer. A DJ that supports his life by DJing. That's a successful DJ. We say successful, but so that's a really fine line with that word. Successful, because
you can be rich, but maybe not happy with what you play or what you produce, but you get money with it. So are you successful then?
No. It's I'm trying to say, if he be successful, in my opinion, if you say you're a successful DJ, that means you're supporting your lifestyle with DJing.
Ζεις από αυτό. Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Πάρε το, τέλεια. Για δώσ' την πλήρωνη πίσω. Πάμε μία πίσω στο Στέλιο και μετά φέρνω τον μπροστά στην Ανδριάννα και μετά πάμε από αυτή τη μεριά.
Hi, David. Thanks for coming. Can you name a few electronic music producers from the last decades, maybe that really stand out for you? And maybe why, what stand out for you?
What?
Producers that have stood out for you.
What, recently?
Yeah,
The
recently.
last 10 years.
Last 10 years. Well, obviously Black Coffee. One. Who else? Purple Disco. You know what I mean? Two different genres. Two big names right now.
Okay.
Two different genres.
So Black Coffee, Purple Disco Machine.
Yeah.
Okay. Για φέρ' το στην Ανδριάννα.
Yes.
Hi, David, again. First of all, it's an honor to be here with you, and thank you for being here. My question is for a new DJ. How can a new DJ gain the respect and the attention of other DJs and producers so they can notice the hard work that they're putting?
why should you care about anyone giving you respect?
For collabs, for
Well, I mean, no, listen, we go back to the fundamental, what we spoke about earlier. Why do you want to be a DJ? Again, yeah, you understand? You're asking a question, how can you get respect, right? Respect. Respect for what? I'm sorry, respect for what? Listen, we're talking about music. We're talking about music. Once again, nobody can take music away from you. If you like music, that's a passion, that's your enjoyment. Respect for what? What? Yes, I'm ready. I'm trying to say, for what? I mean, for people to the club, it is. Like, respect what? You said, do you understand the logic what I'm saying? It's like, I need you to respect me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, when DJs start to play, when they make it per se, then here comes the so-called respect. I mean, when you become in demand, okay, here comes the respect. I mean, for lack of a better word. So you understand? Well, you shouldn't be concerned about, I want people to respect me. Dude, play your game. Play your game. You understand? Dedicate yourself to what you're doing because you love it. You become successful, it will automatically happen. You don't demand it. You don't demand it. You have no right to demand it. You won't have to. It will come automatically.
and even the recognition of hard work, like I think that DJs that recognize the hard work and the effort that a new DJ or producer.
Listen, there's a lot of people that are dedicated. They love DJing. They have the passion. And they don't get nowhere. And then you have some... I'm trying to find the right word.
Oh, so it's fun because that's
Trying to find the right word. Somebody that doesn't deserve it. Okay, for lack of a better word. That really doesn't have the passion. I mean, we say they stepped in shit. And let me say, I could tell you, wait, I have a high standard of DJing. I could say there's a lot of people that are big name DJs. For me, they can't even wear my shoes. You understand? But the game is a game. The game is a game. I don't care. I'm not jealous. I'm not looking over my shoulder. There's nothing there. I love music. And tell me, isn't about, I was one time one of the biggest DJs in the world. I'm not the biggest DJ in the world anymore. But at least I can say I was a king. I was a king. You can't be a king forever, right? So here's the evolution. New DJs. It's not that they're better. New generation. New DJs represent the new generation. You know what I mean? The problem with DJing today is pop culture. Really, it's popular. It's pop culture. I mean, it's pop culture. It's like a novelty. So some people want to be a DJ for the right reasons, and some people want to be a DJ for the wrong reasons. Unfortunately. Is that you understand? That's why I said to you, there are DJs, really good DJs out there. Many, oh my God. Jesus Christ, really. That's not really. The competition is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You understand? So what's the easiest way for a DJ to become popular? Make a record. Make a record. On play because that's how a lot of new DJs come. Boom, 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 boom. Make a record. From one moment to the next, they're fucking superstars. Not because they're great DJs, because they had a big record. Do they have the passion? But they go up there and bullshit, play some mediocre, blah, 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 but it doesn't matter. That's the game. Do you understand? But it's like, you don't demand, how do you get respect? When you make it, respect will.
Έχεις διπλά. Ωραία. Και πάμε μετά από εδώ. Ποιος είχε εδώ. Τέλεια. Ευχαριστώ. Thank you for your time.
Το μικρόφωνο πάρε μπροστά.
I would like to talk again about the energy levels between the crowd and the DJ. And so my question is, do you believe that if the DJ's energy level is higher than the crowd's, is it a bad feature for the party? Because sometimes we are excited, but the crowd isn't ready party.
I think what he means is, while you're DJing, if you're very energetic and you have a very high energy level, but the crowd is not following you, is this a problem? Σωστά τα λέω.
Ναι.
It really depends. But you know what? You're supposed to have energy when you're playing. Number one. The question is, what are you playing? Understand? What are you playing? You're supposed to have energy. Positively, I want to play. But what are you? I mean, because maybe what you're playing, they're not liking. You understand what I'm saying?
Εγώ σου λέει, το καταλαβες καλά. That you might have energy levels and the crowd's not following you because you're not playing the correct set.
So it depends how we build up our set and that genre.
No, listen. Every DJ, we go back. So say every DJ has their selection. Their selection, right? Their selection. When you play a record, right? When you play, so let's say if I play somewhere because I like to play different styles. And I like to change. I don't like to play just one style of music because I get bored. So when I go to change, I'm taking a risk, right? Now I have to see, am I going to get a good reaction from the next style I'm playing if I'm playing? Or am I losing some? You understand? Even though I have to take a risk. And I say, don't go too far. Don't go too far. So you really have to pay attention to the audience. How they react. It's a different when you're playing some really underground ketamine fucking after hours where they don't give a fuck. Just like mouse music. Sorry, it doesn't matter. But I go back to the thing, you have to pay attention to your dance floor. When a DJ goes to play, and I'm not talking about warm-up DJs, because the first warm-up DJ is really, really important. Well, let's say you play after the warm-up DJ. Your first record is the most important record. The first most important because you want to capture your audience immediately, right? And once you play that first record and you got the people, now you're confident. Okay, cool, you're confident. But if all of a sudden you play that first record and a lot of people walk off the dance floor, you're going to lose your confidence. You're going to get lost. Because now you're confused. Now you're throwing off your game. Shit. What do I play to get them to dance? Here comes the confusion. And let me tell you something. The audience, they're going to know that you're confused.
Because you show it.
Because you show it.
Right.
I mean, because your energy is off. And now you have to figure out, oh shit, how do I find my way back? But you don't even know what that is.
But experience kicks in.
You know what I'm saying? And it can happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody. This is why I arrived 30 minutes before my gig. So I know, where am I going? As opposed to arriving 5 minutes before, I haven't heard the person set. I don't know what style, what they've been doing, or where can I go? You understand?
Thank you very much. Thank you for the more. About us?
And adiós.
And adiós.
Hello.
So you mentioned earlier about being
Banto-
good music.
No, no.
So my question is a two-part question: is how do you define bad and good music? And since we are the selectors of music, we want to make sure we play good music, right? So where do you draw the line between bad and good music and personal taste? And for example, let's say I have, I don't know, my top 100 favorite tracks that I want to play and enjoy may not be liked by the majority of people. So is there a universal thing that makes good music? And if yes, what is it for you? Like in electronic music, right? It could be the rhythm, the drop, or how are you?
For me, any kind of music, hip hop, jazz, R&B, techno, open format. I mean, for me, it's just I put it in a universal sense. In a universal sense. I mean, in a universal sense. There's many styles of music, and depending on what the selection is, it can be appreciated. That's how I'm saying. It can be appreciated. If it's presented right, it can be appreciated. I don't care what style. It's like, I can tell when there's a vibe, there's a vibe. Okay, I don't care what kind of music it is. You know what I'm saying? The energy, it's like, everything that's going on. It's like, I can appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I can appreciate it. Even if I don't play it. Even if I don't play it. But in many styles, there is some fucked up music. There is some bad music out there.
Εντάξει, πάμε. Ωραία. Ερώτηση. Απαντήσουμε 2 ακόμα. Πάμε, Νοέλ. Hello, Mr. David Morales. Αυτό. He stood up. Μπράβο.
Yeah.
Era.
Yeah.
Πάμε.
Really inspiring session.
Μαλάκα.
So you said a nice thing that we get to work. We get to drink while working.
The what?
We get to drink while working. So it's not a heavily sustainable lifestyle, let's say. Would you give us some tips on how can we have a good life?
I'm still alive.
So give us the key to the Lamborghini again. How did you make it?
I'm still alive. I'm really the wrong person to ask that. Because I could drink a half a bottle of fucking tequila in 2 fucking hours. So it's like, I'm the wrong person to fucking ask. No, but in all seriousness, this is something that really needs to be addressed that no DJ Academy addresses. Fame is a drug. Fame is the biggest drug in the world. Okay? When you experience fame, it's like going back. Another story. Fame is an illusion. Okay? Fame is an illusion. And by that I mean, you're not born a star. The people put you on that pedestal and make you the star. The problem is when you actually start believing that you are a star and you're better than everyone else and you think your shit don't stink. That's the illusion, right? That's the illusion. It's easy. The heaviest thing is the drugs. There's alcohol, the drugs. It's like, there's some people that there is like some idea for your depression. You see what happened to Avicii? I take Avicii for example. Superstar, young, rich, depressed. How?
Fame.
Fucking how? I say, how? The pressure that he's too young to handle the pressure. the fame and everything that came with it was too much for a guy that young to handle. The pressures that he had to deal with. The people that around him that didn't take care of him, that just push him because they want to make money. So imagine, listen, there's drugs, all kind of drugs. The enablers. These are the things that really that you can get lost. Lose yourself. It's a dangerous path. I see many people. I mean, many. That's him. They say every Willow. Another bad motherfucker. Legend. Rich.
Famous.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of it's a really, you work in, I say, in the devil's den. In the devil's den. Where everything that's bad for you is right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? It's right in front of you. So you need to know how to manage it. I mean, moderation, whatever it is. Moderation, listen, whatever it is. I mean, you need to know your limit. You need to know your limit. Don't let the limit tell you when it's the limit. Because when that happens, it's either you're in a hospital or you ain't going to be able to say, here's the limit.
Alright. Okay. Έχουμε κάποια άλλη. Πάμε. Two more. Ένα ο δεμένος, του δίνω, και ένα πάρτο και κλείνουμε. Έλα. David, όταν έρθεις ανοίγεις το for my English. It's a simple question, but yet kind of there are some music genres that come and go. Right now it's melodic techno or Afro here in Greece, as I can say. As a DJ, you have your personal style. What you should go a little bit with the flow at the current era of the current genre, or you should stuck in your style.
I think it's important to have your own style. So when I go play somewhere, they don't know this. But I play everything. But I play everything. You understand? So what? And not to say that I have a style per se. You say I like soul food. You say I like Afro because I make all of that stuff. I mean because I like it, so I make all of that stuff.
So you have to be flexible. And a little bit may
No. You don't have to be nothing. I mean, you don't have to be nothing. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to be in it. It's not about you have to be flexible. Never play something you don't like.
But sometimes you have to play it to get the job.
That's something else. So then it's not supposed to be a job. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to be, I gotta pay this, and you play music you don't like. It's negative energy. You're wasting your time. When you go to play at a club, you're supposed to be excited. You're looking forward to it. Not it's like, okay, you got a job at a place. Okay, I'm DJing. But I hate what I have to play.
Not the job as the sense of the work. Yes, I'm excited. I have to work in a very good club in Athens, as I can see. But I want to play more deep house, but the style of the club, the music that supports most of the time, is techno. So, what I have to do as a DJ, stay
If it's a techno club, it's a techno club. Understand? If you're at a techno club, you don't go in there to play deep house. You just don't. If that's what they play all the time, if that's what the club is known for, it's a techno club. So that's what they want to hear, techno. Period. So you understand what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, first of all, if you play in a techno club, do you like techno? That's it. I ask you, do you like techno?
No so much.
So why are you playing there then?
They not
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then why are you playing there? So you're playing music you like.
It was there, I wasn't, but I understand what you said.
Wow. You're supposed to enjoy yourself. Music is something beautiful. It's sunshine. It's something to make you feel good. Not to go somewhere it's like, miserable because I don't like playing this music. Why are you playing music you like? You know what I'm saying? You have the control to play wherever you want to. I don't care if okay, what is it that because you want to play in the club? Is that what it is? Because I go back to the bedroom DJ thing. For that side, if you want to enjoy yourself playing some music at home, play all the fucking deep house you want. Have a good time. You understand? And to play in a place that appreciates what you want. Because then you can enjoy yourself and play with a smile on your face. You know what I'm saying?
Σήκω όρθιος, ένα σε βλέπει εσύ πίσω. Σήκω λίγο βρε, ένα λεπτό να σε δούμε όλοι. Σήκω ένα λεπτό. Είσαι πίσω εκεί. Βρε, σήκω να το μιλήσει.
I don't want to ask a question. I just want a message of gratitude and respect to you because you said I want to set an example. And after today, you really set an example for me. And if I love the music 100%, I'll love it 1,000. So just thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful words.
Wonderful words and very good English.
This was the whole point of today's motivation, actually. Say what you say and get them more excited and motivated for what they do.
So me and Greg, let's close our meeting with David, our first meeting, that it's what you do to us, to me, of course, but also to Greg, because we've been following Greg, you know, his mentor was Murillo, was Eric, and Roger Sanchez. Mine was, of course, you know, you, Louis, and Timmy Regisford. You know, it's artists like you and DJs like you that give us that extra push we need to keep going and not give up. And we want to thank you for that.
Listen, never give up. Never give up. Music is not something to give up on. It's a shame. Well, I give up on music. It's one of the most amazing universal languages in the world. You know what I'm saying? In the world. Music is power. Music is power. I mean, music is power. I mean, in all kinds of cultures, where you see Africans with drums, celebrating. It's music. It's music. It's to celebrate in whatever way. Music creates dancing. Celebration. Celebration. Period.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies. Thank you very much.
Button it.
Κάτι ξέρει όμως, κάτι ξέρει αν το λέει.
Dude, shut the fuck up. Whatever he wants. David, I'll call you. John's taking you for food. Ό,τι θέλει. He's so funny.
Bye, David.
I'll give you a night.
April.
See you in it.
David.
To save this. Perfect.
Πήρε και τον bonsai μαζί του. Ωραία. Θέλετε να ρωτήσετε κάτι ελληνικά λίγο σε εμάς?
Πρόσχε, τι είναι αυτό, μεθό.
Θέλετε? Πώς είναι? Γενικά. Τι να πούμε και το... Να πούμε και το πιπέρι. Να πούμε και το πιπέρι. Α, να πούμε τέτοια, ροζ θες εσύ.
Παιδιά, δουλεύω σε λίγο πέρα να φύγω.
Λοιπόν, παιδιά, ακούστε.
Ξέρει όλα, δεν σου ξεφέρνει τίποτα.
Πού πας?
Στο Λόχαν, έχει πάρτι για Γερμανίστερ.
Σήμερα. Εντάξει μόνο, να πάτε.
Θα λέξουμε.
Λοιπόν, σας έχουμε σχεδόν όλους εδώ. εκτός από Ειρήνη, ακούς λίγο. Έλα, ακού, κοπέλα. Άκου, δεν κρατιέσαι. Τι να κάνουμε, αυτά τα λεφτά είχα. Απάντησε πολλά πράγματα. Εντάξει, να καταλάβουμε λίγο την αντίληψή μας για τη μουσική. Τώρα που είστε όλοι εδώ, είναι πάρα πολύ καλή ευκαιρία και το λέω συνέχεια στα δικά μας τα τμήματα, η γνωριμία και η δικτύωση και το network. Θες να κάθομαι, κοιτάς, Γιατί δεν είναι να σηκώθεις όλους εσύ. Ναι, πριν, γιατί. Εγώ για καλό το.
Πολύ ωραίο.
Και είπες και το πιο ωραίο, πιο ωραία τάκα ever, είπες. Αυτό έχει φύγει TikTok, θα γίνει της πουτάνας, θα ξέρεις. Λοιπόν, είπαμε πολλά πράγματα, δεν είπαμε ένα από τα πιο σημαντικά πράγματα που είναι το networking, που το έχουμε κάνει λίγο συζήτηση. Τα πάμε όλα. Παραγωγή είναι λίγο δύσκολη, αλλά είναι και εύκολη. Η μουσική που πρέπει να παίξουμε είναι λίγο δύσκολη αν πάμε σε μαγαζί που πρέπει να παίξουμε κάτι που δεν θέλουμε. Σωστά. Και πώς θα ζήσουμε από αυτό το πράγμα. Αυτό που δεν μίλησε και δεν ρώτησε κανείς όσο αφορά. Ναι, χάλασε μας την κάμερα κι εσύ. Είναι η γνωριμία με κόσμο. Οι δημόσιες σχέσεις. Είστε αυτή τη στιγμή εδώ πέρα 80 άτομα. Ελπίζω όσοι δεν έχετε γνωριστεί να γνωριστείτε. Και ελπίζω γενικά να μπορέσετε, δεν θα ταιριάξετε όλοι με όλους, εννοείται, δεν ταιριάζω εγώ με μερικούς από εσάς, κάνουμε μάθημα. Αλλά εννοείται πρέπει να δικτυωθείτε, πρέπει να γνωριστείτε, το λέω και το φωνάζω συνέχεια, πρέπει να ανταλλάξετε, δεν ξέρω πώς θέλετε να επικοινωνείτε, τα Instagram σας, τα social media σας, τα τηλέφωνά σας, γιατί αυτοί που όντως θα προχωρήσουν λίγο παραπάνω και παίζουν, ή για τα παιδιά της παραγωγής, τα παιδιά που θα δημιουργήσουν κάτι ολοκληρωμένο και στα αλήθεια θα είναι κάτι αξιοσέβαστο να ανεβάσουμε, έχεις αυτή τη στιγμή 80 post, ένα κομμάτι που φτιάχνεις. Θα παίξει ο Δαμιανός κάπου, ή θα παίξει η Τόνια κάπου, ή θα παίξει η Έλλη κάπου, ή θα παίξετε κάποιος από όλους σας κάπου και θα έχετε το θάρρος και το θράσος να καλέσετε 80 άτομα. Και να σας πω ένα μυστικό. Σε οποιοδήποτε μαγαζί και να πάτε, εδώ στον Μπόλιβαρ τώρα, να πάρω το Χάρη τηλέφωνο, τον βάλω ανοιχτή ακρόαση, τον ιδιοκτήτη. Και του πω, έχουμε τον Μάρκο, έχουμε την Έλλη, έχουμε τον Πάρη, έχουμε την Μάνια, έχουμε την Ευαγγελία και θα παίξει και έχει 80 άτομα, έχετε κερδίσει τη θέση στο μαγαζί. Τόσο απλά. Δυστυχώς, αυτή είναι η αλήθεια. Νοέλ, τα ξέρεις καλά, δουλεύει σε μαγαζί. Η παράκλησή μου είναι, γιατί πλέον είμαστε στο δεύτερο μήνα, ξεκινάμε την ένατη εβδομάδα, την εβδομάδα που έρχεται, και όσοι θα είμαστε όλο το 8μηνο αυτό μαζί, να δημιουργήσετε ένα δυνατό κύκλωμα κόσμου μεταξύ σας και να μεγαλώσει αυτό και να μπορείτε όντως να κάνετε κάποιο κίνημα, να βοηθηθείτε να παίξετε μουσική. Είστε 80 εδώ, φανταστείτε πώς είναι εκεί έξω. Αυτό που θα κερδίσει είναι ο κόσμος, η καλή μουσική που λέμε. Κατάλαβες τι είπε πριν, δεν είπε κάτι κακό για τέκνο. Κατάλαβες, εννοούσε για το πρωί, εννοούσε για ό,τι θέλει την ώρα του, εντάξει. Υπάρχουν μουσική που ακούτε, υπάρχει μουσική που δεν ακούτε. Αυτό το πιο ωραίο πράγμα που είπε ο David είναι ότι σέβεται και εκτιμάει το καλό. Δηλαδή, αν ποτέ κάποιος εδώ παίζει πολύ σκληρή τέκνο που εμείς μπορεί να μην μας αρέσει, μπορούμε να το σεβαστούμε και να στηρίξουμε. Και εγώ και ο Γρηγόρης και οτιδήποτε, γιατί μπορούμε να το εκτιμήσουμε. Αυτό θέλω να κάνετε, θέλω να γνωριστείτε, θέλω να ανταλλάξετε social, θέλω να ανταλλάξετε τηλέφωνα, θέλω να κάνετε παρέες, γιατί θεωρώ πολλά παιδιά δικά μου λένε ότι βγαίνω έξω δεν έχω παρέα. Δεν ακούν αυτή τη μουσική. Δεν ξέρω πόσοι από εσάς το ζείτε. Βγαίνω έξω και δεν έχω παρέα. Καλά, εσύ είσαι καψούλη, αυτό δεν έχεις παρέα. Εσύ άστο. Ξέρει ποιος μιλάω, ξέρει. Κοκκίνησε. Αυτό θέλω εγώ να κάνετε. Είναι πολύ σοβαρό αυτό που θέλουμε να κάνουμε. Όντως με τον David συζητάμε να ανοίξουμε μια σχολή στην Ιταλία, δικιά μας. Και όντως θα είναι. Ναι. Το είπε πριν. Δεν το άκουσες. Ναι, το είπε. Συζητάμε, έχει εντυπωσιαστεί με αυτό το έργο που κάνουμε εδώ. Όλοι μαζί το κάνουμε. Έτσι. Ποιος είπε τι? Ποιος είπε, δεν άκουσα. Θα πάτε Ιταλία. Θα στέλνω. Ναι, master. Είναι πολύ σοβαρό, είναι πολύ ωραίο και ποιος ξέρει μπορεί να πάτε και μια επίσκεψη Μπολόνια. Μπορείτε να προσθέσεις κάτι? Εράσμος.
Είπε πολλά ο David, είπε και ο Ντίνος πολλά και πολύ σημαντικά που τα έχουμε ξαναπεί και πολλές φορές. Εγώ θέλω σήμερα το βράδυ πριν ξαπλώσετε στο κρεβάτι σας αφιερώστε 5-10, δεν ξέρω πόσα θα αναφέρω στον καθένα, να κάνετε ένα ρεζουμέ από αυτά που είπε, τα πιο βασικά, πριν ξαπλώσετε να κοιτάξετε το Instagram και να πατήσετε like, που να το πατήσετε, δεν ξέρω τι θα κάνετε, ή θα βάλετε μια τηλεόραση. Επειδή αυτή τη στιγμή είμαστε εδώ και θεωρώ ότι όλοι αγαπάμε τη μουσική, ό,τι και να παίζει τηλεόραση, ό,τι και να έχει το ψυγείο να πάτε να φάτε, δεν ξέρω τι θα κάνετε μόλις πάτε σπίτι.
Άντε πάλι
Καθίστε.
Θες να υπονοήσεις κάτι?
Πεινάω κι εγώ. Λοιπόν, καθίστε
τι θα κάνετε,
και κάντε ρεζουμέ στο κεφάλι σας.
Τι θα κάνετε,
γιατί ο άνθρωπος αυτός είναι πραγματικά ένας θρύλος ο οποίος είπε ότι υπάρχει πριν τη house μουσική. Αυτό λέει πάρα πολλά. Έτσι. Και υπάρχει πριν τη house μουσική και την έφτιαξε από μικρός.
Όχι, αλήθεια, παιδιά, να ξέρετε για τον David, όσοι δεν ξέρετε την ιστορία του, ήταν στα αλήθεια από τους πρωτεργάτες. Αυτός έχτισε τη μουσική που όλοι σας θέλετε να παίξετε σήμερα. Ήταν ένας από τους πυλώνες των ανθρώπων που έγινε η μουσική αυτό που έχει γίνει για να παίζουμε και να θέλουμε να παίξουμε όλοι εμείς. Λοιπόν, και μπράβο σε όλους εσάς, γιατί είστε εδώ, ήρθατε. Ευχαριστώ πολύ σε όλους. Πάμε δυνατά 6 μήνες. Όλοι θα παίζετε μουσική. Όλοι θα παίζετε καλή μουσική. Πάμε γιατί θα γυρίσετε όλοι στο βινίλιο και θα με ευχαριστείτε του χρόνου για αυτή την εμπειρία. Καληνύχτα, καλή νύχτα.